Everything I've learned with the beatings I've gotten from all of the bad choices I made. A country without borders is not a country. We must defend our NATO allies, but we should also ensure that everyone pays their fair share. The United States shouldn't be responsible for funding other countries' shares. I love my heritage. I'm very proud of being Cuban, but I clearly understand that I am an American first. I do not take orders from Washington, and I suggest that no one else should either. We must fix our immigration system so we control who comes and goes, and that starts by securing our southern border. I cut to the point. I don't mealy-mouth around about it. I've never been against doing business with Cuba. I just think people are fed up with people who are career politicians who don't stand for anything. I don't think it's safe to allow anybody from the Middle East into this country. I believe that you should do what you know how to do best. I am a home builder. I have to be an optimist. When Charlie Crist went independent, I no longer supported him. Just track the money. I am not ashamed to support Donald Trump. Here's what I have to say. Obama is a disaster, and Washington politicians are worthless. Publix operates in every county in Florida, and you get a county or municipality saying we don't want you putting your groceries in plastic bags. Well, that's a problem. I think Israel's security measures are pretty strong. Democrats refuse to deal with reality. They make things up, sensationalize common-sense solutions, and exacerbate this obsession over political correctness. There is only one Donald Trump, as we know. But there are aspects of where he's coming from that I understand, which is business people that have built and actually created jobs in this country. I don't want to be another country. I want to be the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. Sarasota-Bradenton is a unique community to live in. Career politicians like Marco Rubio worry more about keeping the job than doing the job and are constantly looking for their next political promotion. Like Marco Rubio in 2010, I'm not going to back down from the Washington establishment. They are the problem, not the solution. People should not be paid to go to Washington and not do their job. When they don't show up, why should we pay them? Of one thing I am certain, we are foolish if we think we will achieve change by sending the same crowd of people back to run our government again and again. I made the miscalculation of taking Mr. Rubio at his word that he wouldn't seek re-election if he lost the presidential primary. Our country is miserably off track. This is something that all but the far left agree on. I personally came to the point where I felt a responsibility to try to do something about it, and I've been blessed enough in business to be able to take a shot at running for office. Here's the American situation. We have moved from a culture of independence to a culture of dependence. We have moved from capitalism into the direction of socialism. We have moved from being a beacon of strength internationally to a position of weakness. I care deeply about the direction of our country. We all owe America. It's not the other way around. Some call me a Cuban-American. I reject that. I don't believe in hyphenated Americans. Growing up, we had to work. If you wanted anything at all that was more than basic food and shelter, you had to make your own money. I am not a politician. I am just a business guy who has had enough. Folks in Washington have it all figured out. They are going to make your choices and run your life. Name recognition takes time. I brought attention to the fact that people need to be more involved in politics and not just let the establishment continue to control politics. President Obama has proven himself to be a terrible negotiator. I don't support any trade deal negotiated by his administration. Free trade is an important component of our economy, but it also has to be fair. Too often, the needs of American workers are ignored while the interests of huge corporations are the focus of these trade deals. Our trade negotiations should ensure that American workers are protected and that there are mechanisms in place to deal with other countries cheating. I am personally looking forward to advancing policies that will help make the future of our state even stronger than it already is. I had a really nice car. You can drive 103 and it not be dangerous. I almost went broke. I didn't file bankruptcy, but I had some miserable times there for 2 or 3 years. Quitting is not part of my DNA. If I'm going to compare myself to a candidate, it's Rick Scott. It's not Donald Trump. If we don't send people to Washington who, first of all, have done something more than talk for a living, which is what many politicians have done, nothing gets done. Trust is a big deal in life, and I'm very old school about that stuff. One of the reasons that our colleges have gotten so expensive is because of tenure. I have 8 guns. I do have a concealed weapons permit. Politicians in Washington are useless. Giving money doesn't make you an insider. If that's considered being an insider, I guess Donald Trump is an insider. That doesn't make sense. The Republican establishment no longer stands for us. I either go all in or all out. I made the decision I will back Mr. Trump. It's not very complicated. I don't pussyfoot around playing the odds. Politicians can talk and talk and talk until they're silly, and they do nothing. There is only one Donald Trump, but people make comparisons because I'm blunt. I've always been a believer that if you don't bet on yourself, how can you ask anyone else to? Rubio can't hold Trump's water. When my blood pressure goes up, my Spanish stuff kicks in. I'm focused on bringing real change to Washington because the career politicians have screwed things up so badly. I live in a bubble.